Hi everybody. Okay, so we are ready to learn the next step in multiplication. Just when you got it figured out, I'm going to add something new to it. And that's good that you have it figured out because we're going to build on what you already know. And sometimes for math, sometimes we have to work a little bit harder, and it's okay to do that. And to support you, you can have your charts ready. You have a multiplication chart handy, ready to go from last week. So make sure that's with you. Have a blank piece of paper, have your pencil ready and sharp with your eraser, or your whiteboard. You can always work off of your whiteboard and you can erase that. And your worksheet for this week to do the new kind of multiplication. So we've learned a lot about multiplication, and we know that multiplying numbers is really skip counting. It depends on what you're asking to do. So for example, 2 groups of 2. 2 times 2. 2 groups of 2. You count by twos. 2 times 4. 2 groups of 2 is 4, right? And so we've looked at that as a linear equation. Linear just means straight across, up like this way. This looks like an equation sentence, what we talk about. 2 groups of 2 equals 4, right? So we practice that. 3 groups of 3 equals 9. 5 groups of 4 equal 20, and 6 groups of 3 equal 18. And we know, and we've learned in our multiplication, we can reverse all of those and it'll be the same numbers. 3 groups of 6, that's for counting 6 3 times, will be 18. So 3 times 6. 4 groups of 5, 5 times is 20. So we know with this property, it's called the commutative property, meaning you can switch the factors and the answer will always be the same in our equations. These ones, of course, are the same digits, and so we can't really reverse them because it's the same thing. But anything that has a different digit, you can swap them, reverse them, and it's the same answer. Okay? That's always going to be true in multiplication. Well, that's what we know, and I know you're practicing with flashcards at home, practicing with your worksheets. I know parents are working really hard to support you at home there. And it's a good idea to keep practicing every day, just a little bit, until you start to learn these by memory. And for some of us, it takes a little bit longer, a little bit harder, and that's a-okay to have that. And have your multiplication factor sheet handy, and so then if you're not sure, you can go down those columns and rows. Remember I showed you last time, and you meet in the middle, and that gives you that answer. Okay, but you know you've been learning how the answer was made. That's really important. Not just the memorizing, but how did you get there? That's super important for our brains to know the answers to that. Well, today I'm going to make it to the next level, like I said, and I'm going to have, instead of single digit times single digit, I'm going to have a double digit times single digit. Let me show you what I mean, and I'll reverse my workboard and we'll put it there. So again, a double digit means there's 2 digits in our number. That could be any number from 10 through to 99. That's 2 digits in the numbers. Well, let's start with this double digit, 11, right? 2 digits, that's the number 11. And we're going to multiply that times 6. And there's our answer. This is our equal line. And you've seen this before in addition and subtraction. Now I want you to know you can use this as well for multiplication. And I already noticed that I have my ones in a row under the ones column, just like we would practice for addition and subtraction in the class. Remember we did that. And so this is our ones. And what's on the other side of the line? What's the next one in the sequence of numbers? Yeah, tens, the 10. So in the ones column, we're not going to add right now, not right now, but we will use some addition later on. But for now, thinking only multiply, groups of. So we have 11 groups of 6. Do you know what that is off the top of your head? Most of us wouldn't know that, right? So let's see how we calculate that to get that answer. 11 groups of 6, or 11 times 6. Sketch that down on your paper, in your piece of paper, or use a whiteboard. Sketch it with me so you can work with me, okay? You learn by doing, and so it's really important that you're engaging with this and not just watching, but I really want you to work with me, okay? So let's start with the ones column. We have to start there because it says 2 digits. We can't just go 11 times 6 because that's what we don't know. So let's break it down, work it through. Starting the ones column, 6 times 1. Right, 6. 6 groups of 1 is 6. Now we go across to the tens column because we're not finished yet. We still have this to work on. 6 times 1. 6. And what is our answer? 66. That's how we calculated that. Okay, let's do another one so that you can see that. 12, let's take a double digit 12, just random, times 2. Well, some of us might already know quickly what that is, but I'm starting with low numbers so that we know how to practice and calculate first, okay? This is 12 groups of 2. Oh, my 2, 4, 6, 8. Do we count 12 or 2's 12 times? Or do we go 2 groups of 12? Oh, 12 and another 12. That's 24, isn't it? So like we said, we can flip it. But in this way, when we're calculating it, I want you to see how we calculate it. So we kind of already got the answer because this is going to be 24, but let's see how we got there. 2, so let's go with our ones column just so we practice getting used to looking at that. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 24. There's our answer. Because we took the single digit, multiplied it with the 1, gave the answer. Single digit multiplied by the tens up here. What is that? That's a 2. So these you already know. They're simple, easy numbers to multiply by. And now this is how we use our knowledge already of knowing some of our multiplication table to get our double digits. So if we have a double digit, our answer is always going to be in the doubles until the numbers get bigger. Then they'll have to get into the triple digits. But for now, we're going to stay with that one. Let's see, can we do another one? Yeah, so I want you to practice with me. This is how you're learning. So just like in our addition, you know, we started with our single digits, then we went to double digit, then we went to triple digit, and it's the same procedure, just more times. We do it in the ones column, we do it in the tens column, we do it in the hundreds column, we do it in the thousands column. So lots of us have had that practice now with all of that addition and subtraction, but there's a way to do it. There's a process, right? So this is the multiplication process. Well, let's try this one. How about a 14, double digit 14, and I want to multiply it by 2 times 2. So 14 groups of 2, or reverse, 2 groups of 14. You already probably thought the answer now if you think 2 groups of 14. It's easier to see in our mind, but let's calculate it in case we can't see that. 2 times 4 is, 2 groups of 4, 8. 2 times 1 is 2, 28. And we know 14 plus another 14 is 28. Good. Let's try another one. Let's go with a bigger digit now. 23, okay, still 2 digits, times 2. Let's stick with 2 for now, because when the numbers get bigger, something else will change. And I'm showing you practice and how to get used to doing this first. So we have 23 times 2, or 23 groups of 2's. Oh, what's that? Or flip it, 2 groups of 23. I have a group of 23 plus another group of 23. That's 2 groups of 23. I can probably add that quick in my mind. It'll be 46. Let's see if the multiplication process gets us there. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 2, 4. The answer is 46. Excellent. So you can practice a few more of those, but we have to be careful what numbers to use to keep it down to just multiplying. This is just multiplying. We're not doing any adding yet, okay? If we wanted to go a little bit higher, and you'll see some of the worksheets may or may not have that on there this week, you need to pick bigger numbers. Well, how about, let's go with our double digit 12, because that's a good digit to see. And I want to multiply that by 5. Okay, let's see. That's 12 groups of 5s or 5 groups of 12s. Ooh, that's a lot of 12s. There's 12s 5 times. We don't know that answer maybe right off the top of our head. That's why we need to know the process. Let's see what we do this time. There's something extra added to it, okay? 5 times 2, or 2 times 5 is 10. You got it. But we put the 0 under the ones column, like we would for addition. And where do we put that 10? Yes, we put it on the tens column and another little wee one, like we did for addition or subtraction when we borrow or carry over. So we're still multiplying. So 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 more. We have 1 more 10 at the top. Now we add it. 6. Oh, my pen's running dry. So I have it out. There we are. Can you see that okay? 60. It's kind of lopsided. Let's do it again one more time, and I'm going to close my pen so it's not so dry. We had 12 times 5. We want to know what 12 groups of 5s are, or 5 groups of 12. But you notice now all of our calculations, we've had the double digit on the top and the single digit below it. That's important. Has to look that way. We can't reverse those, okay? Because it won't work for us. So we have to go double digit. So let's break it down. We have the ones column. 5 times 2, 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 more 10 is 6. So when we do the bigger numbers like this in multiplication, you have 2 thinkings involved, 2 thoughts. Multiply and add when you're going to carry those 10s over. Okay. So let's practice another one. Let's see. I'm going to write this down and I want you to work it out first. So we'll have some blank time. Let's see. Let's pick 15, everybody. So go with 15 times 5. Right? 15 times 5. Work it out for yourself. So you write that down. 15 times 5. That's a lot of 15s. We can't add them up that fast into our mind. So multiply works. Remember, we want to have our ones column. You got the answer? So if you were thinking about what we just learned, you would have noticed that you say 5 times 5 is 25. So you put the 5 and the 2 belongs in the tens column now. So we carry that over. And 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 more. There's 2 tens up here waiting to be counted. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 more is 7. So our answer is 75. Yeah, but you didn't know that. So this is the calculation we need, because once we get into bigger math, we're going to have such bigger numbers that we can't possibly just pull it out of our brain and just see it. Sometimes some people can if they practice a lot of multiplication. Some becomes recognizable, but for most of us, we have to calculate that. Okay, let's end with one more, a little bit bigger. 23, okay, times 6. That's 6 groups of 23 or 23 groups of 6. What is it? We don't know. We need to work it out, okay? So I'm not going to draw the lines anymore. Write that down on your paper or your whiteboard. 23 times 6. Have you got the answer? Are you thinking? Okay, let's help. So we have 3 times 6 is, what's 3 times 6? 3 groups of 6. 18, carry the 1. Okay, go back to multiply. 6 times 2, or 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 more, right? 13. Oh, now we went into a triple digit answer because our number got bigger up here. The bigger the numbers, the more our answer will become. And now I've got 3-digit number for the answer. So that's a lot of information today. All you need to do is practice, practice, and every day maybe do 5 of those kind of questions. Maybe mom or dad could write them down in the morning, and you just start to work them out. The more you practice, the easier it will be. We would do this a lot in our classroom at this time of year, and it's important for you to see it, and so you're ready. And in grade 4, when the teacher starts to show this, you'll know this already, and you're ready to go. Okay, so I hope that you'll be okay with your multiplication, and I'm here to help on Teams, and we have our meetings, and so let's see how we do this week with this new level of multiplication, double digit times a single digit, okay? Thanks for listening. I know that you were paying really good attention to that, and more practice and you'll do fine. I know you're going to do great. Okay, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.